Parachutes dotted the skies above France today. Another tribute to the D-Day invasion 70 years ago. D-Day and the Battle of Normandy have been enshrined in thousands of photographs. But this one, taken a few days after the landings, is iconic. That's a Canadian medic helping two little boys. A French connection that still resonates. The CBC's Nella Ayed explains.
For 70 years, these grateful shores have called out their welcome. And year after year, they've come, drawn by the pull of history or by their own memories, to feel just one shiver of what's long past, to maybe see one glimpse of what remains.
Yeah, we're just each checking one bag.
It's those prospects that tug at Robin Tamagi, compelling her and her son Devin to return to Normandy for a third time.
It helps me to understand my dad too. As a person, being English, he was not very emotional and, didn't share things. So a deeper understanding, it helps me to understand him.
Dad was Lance Corporal William Curtis of the West Nova Scotia Regiment. And he too answered Normandy's call, crossing the English Channel in June 1944 to face a monstrous war. Curtis might have had some of the toughest memories to deal with. He was a medic, and for years afterwards he carried not only his own stormy memories, but those of thousands hurt or killed on D-Day and after. Memories as silent as the statues built here to remember. Memories he mostly refused to share.
My dad has passed, and even when he was alive, he didn't talk about the war and what happened. And not that I'm sure I would not really want to know, but I want to have a deeper understanding.
He did once share a photo of him as a young soldier with two of Normandy's children. A photo similar to one hanging at the Juno Beach Centre in Normandy. Anonymous until a Canadian school kid came along who always carried a picture in his wallet of the grandfather he loved.
He knew his grandpa was a medic in the war, so he went to look at the medic section, right? And then he saw a picture of my father.
It was like an unidentified name plaque. So I brought out a very similar picture. It was probably taken like within seconds of the first one. And that was the proof that they needed. And then so we filled out all the paperwork to identify him, and then that's pretty much it.
And I looked at him and I said, well, he goes, I know, Mom, we're going back. And I said, yes, we're going back.
And so, like so many others, they've come back here, to the beaches the Allied forces stormed, to where Canadians poured in. Somehow, even now, coming here helps them reach across the years.
I feel it, like I just feel it. I can't explain it. You go home and think about it, but then when you come here to where it happened, I feel it. I feel it in my bones.
A feeling made even more tangible this time by that photo, and the chance to learn more about the two young boys her father made smile. The Juno Beach Centre has arranged for Tamagi to meet the boys' family. They take a short drive from the beaches for a long journey into time.
I'm relaxed. I'm good. I'm just going to go with the flow. Getting excited.
Tamagi knew part of the story, that the boys came daily to dress a wound, that each time they would bring an egg as payment. But that's all she knew.
Bonjour. Bonjour.
The Fremont family is also eager to share information and photos.
La sœur de Jean.
Though everyone in the photo is now dead, for a few precious minutes to their families, they all come alive again. The boys are brothers, Daniel and Marcel Fremont, 2 of 9 children, including Solange and Jean, the youngest and the family archivist. He and Devin do most of the talking. Devin explains his grandfather died in 1998, having rarely spoken about the war. and that everything they as a family ever learned about his time here, they learned from others.
The same with French soldiers are the same. They don't really talk about it at all. They just remember.
Oui. Mais on cherche à savoir.
Yeah. So now we're all left looking, like researching ourselves.
The Frémonts remember the Canadians fondly, how their families welcomed them when they came to liberate their village, and how warmly they still welcome them now.
Ah bah c'est formidable parce qu'on arrive à mettre.
It's great, he says, because we can put names to the faces.
Lorsque je vais dans le cimetière.
Jean Frémont makes an offer, and together they all stroll to where the photo that joins them was taken 70 years ago.
Et on devine.
Ça, c'est
la porte.
Oh, okay.
This is
The house right there. This is the entrance.
oh, okay.
For the Tamagis, what remains of William Curtis's life here is far more vivid than a memory. A story he never really told can still be pieced together like a time travel puzzle.
To not overuse the word, but surreal.
What remains? What stays?
I just think all of it. You know, we'll have the pictures to look at, and I will take it home with me and tell the story over and over again, and think quite often about it. And I have a picture of my dad on the wall in my bedroom, and I say goodnight to him every night, and I think I will be thinking about that.
They sacrifice so much to make sure that we have the freedoms and the privileges that we do now, because we wouldn't have it without them. So I think for people my age, it's important to remember, just so that it doesn't happen again.
There is no forgetting on these beaches. Even as an often silent generation moves on, plenty still remains for when others come looking. Nala Ayed, CBC News, Normandy.